Hi friends, EnteMicrobialWorld welcomes you. In this video, we are going to see what are normal microbial flora, normal flora, microbial flora, transient flora, resident flora, microbiota and microbiome. The human body serves as the natural habitat for a number of microorganisms. These microorganisms are known as the normal microbial flora. That is, the normal microbial flora means the population of microorganisms that inhabit the skin and mucous membranes of healthy normal persons. We must note one point here, that is, before birth, a healthy human fetus is free of bacteria. The fetus first acquires microorganisms while passing down the birth canal and from the newborn's immediate surroundings. After birth, the normal flora in humans usually develops in an orderly sequence or succession. It is estimated that the adult human body is composed of approximately 10 to the power of 13 eukaryotic cells, and the human body also serves as the natural habitat for 10 to the power of 14 microbial cells. These microorganisms, most of which are bacteria, comprise the normal flora. One point should be noted here, that is, bacterial cells outnumber the human cells in the body. The normal microbial flora inhabit mainly the skin and the inner surfaces of the body, such as the mucous membranes of the oral cavity, upper respiratory tract, intestinal tract, and genitourinary tract. Healthy internal tissues are free of microorganisms, but skin and mucous membranes are in contact with the organisms in the environment, and these surfaces become colonized with many of these bacterial species. Here we should note one important point, that is, most are highly adapted to survival and growth in these areas despite physical and chemical conditions that discourage many other kinds of microorganisms. The important factors that determine the composition of the normal flora in a body regions are pH, temperature, oxygen, nutrient levels, redox potentials, general health conditions, diet, hormonal activity, age, etc. The normal microbial flora provide us with many benefits. Let's see some. The normal microbial flora provides a first line of defense against microbial pathogens. They prevent colonization by pathogens by competing for attachment and nutrition. Some produce substances that inhibit pathogenic species. Normal microbial flora assist in digestion. Some synthesize vitamins that are absorbed as nutrients by the host. The normal microbial flora play a role in toxin degradation and contribute to maturation of the immune system. Up to this, we learned what is normal microbial flora. That is, the microorganisms that usually live on or in a particular body site are called the normal microbial flora. Next, we are going to see what is normal flora and microflora. The normal microflora is the term most commonly used when referring to the microbial collections that consistently inhabits the body of a healthy person. Other terms used are normal flora and microflora. The normal microflora, normal flora and microflora are all same. Next we are going to see what is microbiota. Microbiota is the correct word for what was formerly referred to as normal microbial flora or microflora or normal flora. Let's see why. We know initially microorganisms were placed in the plant kingdom and the term flora was used to denote them. Later, microorganisms have been removed from the plant kingdom and are now in separate kingdoms of their own. Thus, the term flora is incorrect, so it is now changed to microbiota. Next, we are going to see what are transient and resident flora. Human beings harbor a wide array of microorganisms, either on or in their bodies. The microbiota are more or less constant for each species and are broadly divided into the resident flora and the transient flora. The resident flora constitute a constant population which cannot be completely removed permanently. Under normal conditions, if the resident flora are disturbed, they promptly re-establish themselves. The resident flora are beneficial and protecting the body against other microorganisms that can cause diseases. The resident flora are the permanent flora which prevent permanent colonization of the body by other organisms. Microorganisms that colonize people for hours to weeks but do not establish themselves permanently are called transient flora. The transient flora vary from time to time and are impermanent. A knowledge of the microbiota of the body is essential to an understanding of the interaction of human beings and their pathogen-laden environment. Finally, we are going to see what is microbiome. The collection of genomes of all the microorganisms found in a particular environment is a microbiome. The term microbiome includes not only the community of the microorganisms but also the whole spectrum of molecules produced by the microorganisms, which include their structural elements, metabolites, and molecules produced by coexisting hosts. Metagenome. Metagenome is defined as a collection of genomes and genes from the members of a microbiota. Next, we are going to see the difference between microbiota and microbiome. Microbiota is usually defined as the assemblage of living microorganisms present in a defined environment. As phages, viruses, plasmids, prions, viroids, and free DNA are usually not considered as living microorganisms. They do not belong to the microbiota. The microbiota comprises all living members forming the microbiome. That is, microbiota comprises only the living microorganisms. The microbiome includes not only the living microorganisms but also the whole spectrum of molecules produced by the microorganisms, including their structural elements, metabolites, and molecules produced by coexisting hosts. Therefore, all mobile genetic elements such as phages, viruses, and extracellular DNA should be included in the term microbiome but are not a part of microbiota. I am concluding this video here and see you soon in my next video. Thank you, friends.